What is up, guys? It's Troy at the Full Setup here, back with another video for you. And today we are going to be testing out this Sony ZV-E10 that I'm using right here. We're going to test out its built-in camera against 4 fantastic upgrades that you can add to this camera from Rode. So the first one is going to be a Lav mic in the Rode Lav Go, which you can see is all tangled up here. This one comes in at about £50. And then we have another sort of £50 to £60 microphone in the Rode Lav Go on-camera shotgun microphone. It doesn't require any external power, but does have some of its own issues, which we will touch base on later in the video. Then we've got, looking at the £80 to £100 price point, we've got the one that started it all, the legendary Rode Videomic. I think it's just even been out longer than the 10-year warranty that they offer on it. I think it may have now. So we're going to talk all about that microphone as well. And then we have the microphone that we're using right here. This is the Rode Videomic NTG, the Swiss Army knife, the jewel in the crown of Rode's on-camera microphones, coming in at £225. But before I show you all of the indoor and outdoor tests that we're going to be doing today, I want to say a massive thanks to today's video sponsor, SkillShare. Now, SkillShare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes to get your creative juices flowing. Whether it's design, photography, video, or just upskilling your Microsoft Office skills, you can guarantee that Skillshare has a class for you. The one thing that I love the most about Skillshare is no matter how busy my schedule is, there are plenty of shorter classes for me to watch in the evening or even on my lunch break. This month I've been refreshing my audio gear, and Scott Lou's Enhance Your Voiceover for Adobe Audition class was exactly what I was looking for. If you're looking to improve the quality of your podcast, tutorials and voiceovers, this 1-hour class covers everything that you need to learn to take your content to the next level. Honestly, I think you will love everything that Skillshare has to offer, and Skillshare have kindly provided for the first 1,000 of my subscribers to join a 1-month free trial to Skillshare Premium, and you can find out how you can join in the description to this video. So what you're listening to now is the built-in microphone. Now, it does sound a lot better outdoors, but indoors in my environment, you can hear all the echo and all the reverb. This just isn't going to be something that you're going to want to use. I mean, even if like the £750 to buy the camera with the kit lens is like your max limit, I would still recommend you've just got to get a microphone before you start making some extra content. It doesn't have to be anything expensive, even a cheap lavalier microphone. For me, you know, it's just not good enough. Just not good enough. Should we move over to the proper microphones then? That's what you're here for. That is what you are here for. Oh, this is nice. I can kick my legs out a little bit now. I've pushed the microphone stand out the way for the shotgun. So what you're listening to now is the Rode Lav mic. So this is a £50 Lav microphone. Now, one thing you're going to notice if you're shopping for Rode mics and you haven't looked that much is you're going to say, why is there multiple versions of the Lav mic? Same with the Video Micro. Why is there multiple versions? Different connections. That's their sort of way to sell you 2 products or to sell you an adapter. So for cameras, you need a TRS connection, tip ring sleeve, and for smartphones, you need TRRS connections, okay? So that's tip ring ring sleeve. That's why you would have to have adapters. Honestly, I think Rode should just sell one of these and put the adapter in a box, but that's their moneymaker. And that's the reason why most other Lav mics you see around this price include an adapter, because they know people have the additional cost with the Rode Lav mic. Now, Lav mics are perfect because they're always on you. It's always on the subject, you know, can move around, can look at the other camera. It doesn't really matter. I'm not out of the way of, you know, shotgun stuff. It's fine, okay? So that's where they're very good, but they do come with their own problems. Lav mics are incredibly sensitive. So on my Lumix cameras, when I had the G7 and the G9, I had to turn the gain all the way down to the lowest setting for this microphone. And then I had to turn on the limiter. So that's adding in DSP beforehand. Otherwise it would just clip. Now Sony's cameras have got loads of gain range on it, so it's been perfectly fine. But while we're talking about DSPs, I am going to be honest. So for all of these indoor tests, I am adding an 80Hz high pass filter, and I'm also adding a noise gate in as well. And I'll probably add a limiter in afterwards after I've normalized it all up. So I'm adding a little bit of processing. And I know when you do these tests, you want to hear it raw, but honestly, I'm such a heavy breather. You don't want to sit through it. I don't know how long this video is going to be. It could be an hour. I don't think it's going to be that long, but you don't want to sit through it. But on all the outdoor tests, you can't really get away with using like noise gates and suppression. It's quite hard not to make it all sound and all over the place. So yeah, just for these tests, I've added a little bit of processing in, but these are things that you should just be adding afterwards anyway. They're just such simple things to add. And if you'd like me to make some videos on, you know, all these microphones and how I would do it, please do let me know in the comment section, because I'm more than happy to come back with that footage. But being an omnidirectional microphone, this is still picking up quite a bit of room tone. I have got some blankets in front of me, a little bit of, what's it called, the foam stuff on the walls. My room divider's got a blanket on and curtain, so I'm boxed in quite a bit, but still plenty of room tone, okay? So this might not be for you. If you've got a really reflecting environment, that is where you're going to need to look at either pencil condensers, you know, if you want something out of shot, or shotgun microphones. So shall we take a look at those shotgun microphones? Over to shotgun microphones then. So what we've got here is the £55 Rode Go microphone, and there's a lot of reasons why you would want to buy this. It sounds incredibly good for its price. Again, I think it sounds better outdoors. We're going to talk about the pitfalls of shotgun microphones when we look at the video mic, because there's some other stuff to cover with this microphone. So obviously it doesn't require any power, which is great. You haven't got to worry about charging batteries, and it sounds good. I actually had the Rode Video Micro a few years ago, and I sold it. I don't know why I ever sold it. There wasn't really any point in selling it. I didn't get a lot of money for it. This one I actually bought secondhand from CEX for £25 though, so it's sort of all leveled out. But I didn't research this microphone before I bought it, so I don't know right now, because I haven't got my headphones on, if it's doing it. But this thing suffers massively from interference. If I bring it any closer to my desk, it gets really bad. Let me show you this example. So when I've got these cameras set up, they are plugged into either dummy batteries or they're being charged by the USB cable. Okay, so the A6400 is in a dummy battery, and this one I run a USB cable. Ooh, 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 ooh. And I forgot about this. I was sat here for 10 minutes thinking it's my extension cable when I forgot. This thing has a very serious problem. So there's all these click clicks, tick ticks. It just doesn't do well with interference, which renders this microphone in some instances very useless. Let's say even if you're using it outdoors, you say I'm not near anything, you know, it's going to be fine, there's no interference, I'm not near anything. Okay then, turn Wi-Fi or Bluetooth on your camera, and you can guarantee this thing is going to start jipping out a little bit. Same thing as we did with the test there. If you want to plug in external power, like on my gimbal, I generally use the phone holder on the side with a USB battery pack on it, and then I run a cable to. I can't do that with this microphone. So I can't understand why Rode haven't rebuilt this, haven't released a Mark II, because there is obviously stuff that they can do to fix the problem, and then it is a fantastic microphone for the money. Again, if you get one cheap secondhand, put it in your bag. Would I buy this microphone new? No. I do think it sounds better than the Video Micro, like quite a bit better, but I wouldn't buy this one, okay? Moving over to the legend then, the Rode Video Mic. Now, this microphone costs between about £75 and £100. And I'm going to say straight off the bat, for £75, yes. For £100, no. For me personally, I think this microphone needs an update. It's got legendary status and it's been out for a very long time. And if you buy one, it's still a fantastic microphone. I'm not saying you made the wrong purchase, but me personally, I think the Deity D3, the non-pro, is a better buy than this microphone. And there's a few reasons for it. The D3 is a bit more compact, and that gets you down to shotgun microphones. This isn't particularly a long shotgun microphone, but they are super cardioids, all the Rode's ones, so it's super focused here. The problem that you can find with shotgun microphones when you're using them for indoor dialogue is that you get phasing issues. So as stuff bounces around, it hits the side, and you can get this warping sound. We're not really getting any of it today because I've put blankets and curtains everywhere. That's something I'd recommend, you know, actually more than buying foam. I've got the foam on the wall just for show. Just honestly, chuck some curtains up on anything you can. Even sometimes I just chuck them on our washing lines, you know, indoor hangers, all that stuff can massively improve your sound. Okay, so they're super focused. You can obviously have them boomed out of shot. I'm just not a big fan of it. For me in this space to boom it, I find they're too far away. I would recommend with any shotgun microphone, if you're getting it for use with content creation, obviously you don't need it in shot as you can see here, but get yourself a mic stand or a boom arm to put it on. If I was to put these where my camera is, about 2.5 feet away from me, that is then going to introduce a lot more room noise, reverb and all that sort of stuff. Now this microphone does sound very good. I did my outdoor test before and I noticed it sounded a little bit sharper than the rest of the microphones that I was using today. So I'm interested to see what that sounds like indoors. But there's some reasons why I think this needs an update. And then the first thing you're all going to go on is that the 9-volt battery. I actually like replaceable batteries on a microphone. There's a good reason for it. The problem is with something like the NTG is that when it runs out of charge, you've got to wait for it to charge back up. I think this should be changed so it is just a double or triple A, which I think the Deity does. You can just literally put in, I think it's a triple or a double A battery that you screw into it. It doesn't have gain control either that the NTG has, and so does the Deity, variable gain control. I don't think it's got auto sense to turn on either, which means if you leave it on, then your battery's going to be dead. But the battery is a good thing. I just don't like it's a 9-volt battery. Other than for fire alarms, I can't remember the last time I bought a 9-volt battery for anything. I'm probably going to return this mic when I'm done with it. So the lucky buyer gets a free battery because it doesn't come with a battery either. There's an 80 Hz high pass filter on it, which we're going to use outdoors. I'm going to add my own high pass filter on it afterwards. And there is also like 10 and 20 dB pads, but they're inside the freaking thing under the battery and they're really hard to get to. This thing's also massive as well. It's not compact. I was shocked when the box came. It's like, what? You know, maybe it means more for the money. But I still think this is a fantastic microphone. Like I said, if you bought one or if you're going to buy one, it's going to do you well. It will do you well for indoor. It will do you well for outdoor. The shock mount on it's very nice. All of these, you know, have great, you know, the Rycote shock mounts. Sorry, I haven't covered that, but I just, you know, just so used to Rode providing them that I probably didn't mention that one. But I do think the Deity D3, I would definitely check that one out. Tonally, I think both of the microphones I'm talking about there are great, but it just edges it for me on a few of the extra features. The auto sense, I think it even has a safety channel as well, the standard D3. Maybe the Pro doesn't. I'm getting confused. But anyway, here is the legend. Here is the Rode Videomic. This is what it sounds like. But let's look at their most expensive one. Let's look at the Videomic NTG. Over to the Rode NTG then. Now, I might have processed this audio a little bit more at the beginning and the end. So all you're going to be hearing to right now is literally a high pass filter. And like I said, bad breather. We got to get that noise gate in there. But this microphone is just fantastic for the value, okay? At £225, you might think it's expensive, but let me just tell you about many of the things that this microphone can do. Firstly, as well as an on-camera shotgun microphone, it can also be used as a USB camera as well. I pop this in my bag all the time when I've got Zoom calls or Teams and stuff like that at work. This is what I take with me. Again, like all of the other shotgun microphones, it's super cardioid. It's going to be nice and focused. Have it boomed in front of me here so you can see it in the video, but often have it boomed above me as well. So when it comes to on-camera features, this microphone is almost exhaustive to, you know, the amount of stuff that it can do. In fact, it pretty much does everything that you could need it to do. So it auto senses as soon as you turn your camera on or off, it turns it on. Not only can it be used with cameras, it also senses whether if you're using it with a smartphone, which would be a TRRS connection, which we touched base on earlier in the video. So it does all of that through its cable. I wish it was, I don't want to move it, but I wish it was the same sort of springy cable that comes with the other video mics. That's the only thing that I don't like about this microphone is the cable. Some extra features on it. So we've got a 75 Hz high pass filter. I think it's a 150 Hz high pass filter. It also offers a high shelf as well. So this is an incredibly flat microphone with just a little dip in there's a little tiny dip somewhere in the top end. But having that high shelf is going to be perfect if you're using it with like wind filters, because you're going to be losing some of those high frequencies. It's also got, probably done some research as well, it's also got a 20 decibel pad, and there is also another feature on this called a safety channel. So when you're recording this into a camera, it's recording in stereo, okay? So what it does is it records one channel normally, and then it records another channel 20 dB lower. That's just awesome. And I totally forget what the other button does. So it does something else. Maybe I'll put it there in the description. You can also use this with the Rode VXLR Plus as well to turn it into a fully balanced connection. And I'm probably going to do another video on that. I was going to have it to hand, but it's disappeared. So yeah, those are the indoor tests of the Videomic NTG then, and all of the other microphones. So we really need to be looking at some outdoor tests. I'm going to apologize right here off the bat. For these outdoor tests, we're going to be looking at the camera when it's not on a stabilizer and when it is on a gimbal. Troy doesn't use his gimbal very much, and I don't shoot outdoors very often either. So the footage doesn't look particularly great, but what you're here for is the audio. So let's check out all of them audio tests. So here's the built-in microphone then. I've got the fluffy wind filter on. It is a bit windy today, which is just going to keep shooting up my fringe because I need a haircut. And I've got really thin hair. Now, I'm not really making any attempt to do a gimbal walk here other than just walking very slow, just so you can see what the stabilization is like. Now there is an option to put on the active stabilization, but it crops it in so much. We're using the kit lens here today, so that's the 16 to 50 millimeter. Could probably do with an ND filter every time the sun comes out of the clouds, but it crops it in so much it just makes it pretty unusable, and you get loads of wobble with it as well. I don't know, I felt it looked worse. Maybe it's just my noviceness, but there'll probably be some b-roll on screen of that. So yeah, this is just a built-in microphone, noise cancelling microphone, which I think in some ways hurts it a little bit that it has noise cancellation. I really wish there was an option to turn that off. No wind reduction or anything has been turned on. Over to the Rode Lav mic then. Now one of the things I love about Lav mics is because they're on you all the time. So if you want to just quickly show off what's around you, it's still going to pick you up. And that is where I really like using them as well for the channel. It used to be when I was like unboxing PC cases, you know, large items where my head sort of moving out of the way of my microphone is where I really like using these microphones. And obviously you can use them with wireless transmitters as well, meaning that you just don't have to have all this extra wire mess, or maybe if you're just recording an external subject. They're so flexible, they're so versatile. The annoying thing is that I would like to buy a very high quality Lav microphone, but due to their size, you know, thin little wire and cable and all that stuff, I just can't justify spending, you know, silly money on that sort of microphone. I want something that's built to last. And I'm not too sure these are. I know you get the 10-year warranty, but for me, you know, that's why I haven't spent out more. I would love to get a more expensive Lav mic, even maybe an XLR-based Lav mic for use at home. Now for £50, I've got absolutely no complaints about this microphone. I think it sounds very good for the price. You know, a little bit of post-processing and it sounds pretty decent, but enough of all this shaky footage. Let's put it on the gimbal and probably still be shaky because Troy don't do the gimbal walk. Oh God, setting up the gimbal was difficult. I don't use it very often. I'm not really a gimbal expert. And I was really stressed because I wanted to put the 18 to 105 lens on it, not to use the kit lens. And I was like, oh, it's too cropped in. Like the 18's a bit, that's me at arm's length. You know, it's wide angle, but it's not as wide as you'd like for vlogging. But I left the active stabilization on, so I'd put it on and go, oh, I can't use this. And it is a nightmare to balance cameras on the SC, well, Sony cameras with the kit lens, because the Sony cameras are quite light. So what you're listening to now is the Rode Videomic Go, but I think I've got the gain set to about 10. I had to turn Bluetooth off, or stop connecting to the gimbal via Bluetooth because I was getting that click, 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 and all that sort of stuff happening. Over to the mic that started it all then, the Rode Videomic, and I'm definitely thinking that I should have come here for the first bit of shooting where I was using the kit lens, because there's no sun penetrating me everywhere, no sunshine. So I've actually dropped it down to f4 for this bit because we've gone a little bit darker. Still need to get an ND filter. I did order a couple this week, but I ordered the wrong ones, and just, it's what happens when you order stuff without researching with not really much prior knowledge. But yeah, this is the Rode Videomic. I've noticed it's picking up more sound, ambient sound and stuff around me. I think it's the longest out of all of these shotgun microphones as well. I have got the 80 Hz high pass on. I also have that on for the NTG as well. Afterwards, I just couldn't believe how big this is. I'm sure I've probably already mentioned that in the video. And I didn't rebalance, okay? I haven't rebalanced since I've had the Go mic on. If the footage is getting a bit shakier, that's why. And as I said, you know, I'm not going to be making any attempts to do a gimbal walk because, you know, I think 95% people that will be buying all of this kit that just want to record stuff of them being out and about are just going to be themselves. They're not going to be professional ninja walkers. So here we are then with the Rode Videomic NTG. I actually came back and reshot this footage, okay? Reshot this footage, so apologies that the outdoor footage hasn't been very good. I'm probably sure I would have pre-warned you before you watched it all, but what we're here for is the microphone tests, okay? That is what we are here for. We are here for microphone tests. I'm not a filmmaker, just going to put it out there. So I've got the gain on the camera, I think it's set to about 5 or 6. And then the gain on the Videomic NTG set to about 8. Some people recommend 10, but I just prefer. Maybe I should use that knob a little bit. I don't know, I just feel all chin. I just feel all chin. But yeah, I've obviously listened back to a lot of the audio because I've just been editing it this morning, and then come back and shot this bit. And I found that the video mic sounded really sharp. My headphones are sharp, but yeah, I almost preferred the Go. Even though the Go's got all the problems. The fact that it doesn't need a battery either, but this thing, the NTG then, the Swiss Army knife. The creme de la creme, the best that Rode offers as an on-camera, you know, microphone, all-in-one device. Man, I think this thing sounds superb. Some people are gonna like deity mics more. I think this offers a little bit more than the V3 Pro. Hopefully this is stable. My arm is dead. I've been walking for like 2 minutes. I'm so unhealthy. Oh, COVID, I should have come out and done this all the way through lockdown. Maybe I would have stayed fit. But man, I'm unhealthy. But anyway, that is just a test of the Videomic NTG for you. So there are all the microphone tests then, and a massive thanks to SkillShare for sponsoring today's video. Make sure you check it out in the description below. Go and join. Go and learn yourself something new. Trust me, you will love everything that they have to offer. And you will love everything that all of these Rode mics have to offer. First thing off the bat is tonally, they're all exceptional for their price points and they're all very good. Obviously, the NTG is my favorite and is going to be the one I recommend to you. But that's not really a difficult choice, is it? With everything it offers, and you know, it's the most expensive, so it must be the best. All of the other microphones, they have their place. So obviously the Lav mic, like I said, I don't really want an expensive one because I'm afraid I'm going to damage it, and just having it in the bag, having it there to put on a subject, just so useful. Just so useful, okay? You just have to worry about its sensitivity a bit. The Videomic Go, nah, not really, okay? Like I said, if you get one cheap, put it in your bag. If not, get the Video Micro if you're really on a budget, or just save up some more money. You know, the difference between £55 and like £80, £90 isn't a huge amount of money. I know to some people it is, but you know, that's something that I would just save up the extra money. The Video Mic sounds exceptional. You know, 10-year warranty. Probably didn't even mention that. All of these microphones, 10-year warranty with Rode. So it is good. It's just dated and it just needs an update. If you get one, great. You'll love it. Dated D3? Probably get that one. And like I said, final thoughts. This thing is a Swiss Army knife. Like I said, I hardly ever use it. It doesn't get used that much. It literally is an overpriced on-camera microphone for secondary audio to me. But would I be without it? Would I sell it? Nah, this thing is my baby and I love this little microphone. I think you'd love it as well. Obviously, they're all great upgrades over the built-in microphone. Don't use the built-in microphone. If you have any questions on today's content, let me know. If there's any other tests that you would like me to do, come back with. I'm thinking of doing maybe the Rode Video Micro versus the Video Go now, because I wish I had that camera for this video. Let me know in the description. Go and check out that SkillShare link and I'll be back with some more videos very soon.